All right, I'm sitting here with Chris Acker, and there's Shaker right there. We just finished up our puppy upbringing program, and Chris, thank you so much for choosing me to help you with Shaker. I just want to ask you a couple questions. Now, Chris had used a previous trainer and then started working with me. So if you could just describe the difference in experience that you had working with me.
Well, I can tell you that basically I can sum it up in one thing, and that is when I talk to you, I understand what it is I'm trying to accomplish. So I had a very big hesitation and frustration about any kind of treat-based training. Even though he's a puppy, I wasn't, the last dog I had, I didn't train as a puppy. So I just really didn't understand why I would have to do that. And in addition, I think with the other trainer, it was all about the food as opposed to understanding how the dog should be rewarded, what they should get, when they should get it, when they do what they do. I think the other thing, Jeff, frankly, is when you came out to talk to me about what your services were, if I'm not mistaken, you were at my house for 2.5 hours. So that right there was the sale. Anybody who's willing to take the time to talk to me to figure out what my goals are at that point and help me understand what your process is going to be was huge. So just that level of interest on your part, not only talking to me, but watching the dog, seeing where he stood, I think was a huge selling point for your services.
And just to let people know out there, Chris is a funny guy, so probably a half hour that was just cracking jokes and telling funny stories.
It may have been, but you were there for a long time, and I was like going, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, and it was a Wednesday night. I remember specifically 5:30, and then it was close to 8 or so when you left.
Yeah.
It was pretty unbelievable. So, now in working with Shaker, I mean, it's just, I understand what we're trying to accomplish and how we're going to get there when we'll be phasing out different treat portions and things of that nature. And I've gotten to a level where I understand what Shaker and I are doing together, and it is true. I mean, really, Jeff is training me how to work with Shaker. Shaker's good, me not so much, but I can see head and shoulders difference with what Shaker will do with me at this point after working with Jeff for 4 or 5 sessions. Pretty incredible.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. That was really good.
Absolutely.
What would you say to somebody sitting on the fence about dog training and not sure which way to go, if they should do it or not?
There's no question in my mind you absolutely need to train your dog. I had a golden retriever prior to Shaker that was 14 years of my life. I didn't train her until she was 2 or 3 years old, and have regretted not doing it at the beginning since I started training her. And I knew when I got Shaker we were going to start training as early as we possibly could. What I had forgotten in 14 years is how painful that's going to be. 14-year-old dog versus puppy is completely different, so I forgot an awful lot, and I'll tell you that Jeff reminds me constantly. He's a puppy. So yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to train your dog. I mean, if you want a dog that will live with you, live within your lifestyle, and do what you need it to do while you're living your life, you've got to train your dog. Everybody I talk to that even thinks about getting a dog, the first question I ask is, are you going to get it trained?
Right.
And then what kind of dog is it?
Awesome. Good deal. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.